Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the FileMaker series. Today what we're going to be doing is we are doing a beginner's guide to FileMaker. And what the beginner's guide is all about is what happens when you get FileMaker, what is it good for, and why do we use it? That's kind of the big questions I'm getting a lot, like, what is FileMaker? What does it do? Well, it does a lot. If you've watched any of my videos, there's so many unique facets of things that you can actually create with FileMaker. But today what we're going to do is we're just going to go through some very, very, very basic things that you can do with FileMaker. And I think what we should do is we should start with a brand new record. So let's just start with a brand new solution. Now you can do a starter solution. So if you want to, you click in the starter solution thing, and you'll see it has like assets or contacts, content management. There's all of these different things that you can use, event management, just basic expense reports, inventory. All of these things are inside of the templates. So if you have a projects thing that you want to build, or a resource scheduling thing that you want to build, research notes that you want to do, all of these things are very much available if you want to just use a pre-built template for a starter solution. And so in this particular case, what we can do is we can just do like, let's do a meetings one really quick, or yep, meetings is just fine. So we'll just go ahead and select that. We're just going to call it meetings because we like that. And we're just going to kind of make it a little bit bigger. So this is what it looks like right out of the box. I mean, I literally didn't do anything to it. So it'll say like, this is the meeting list. So you click on it, it'll tell you what's the meeting list. And that's kind of the cool thing. You can click anywhere on it and it'll go right back to the meeting list. But the title, the untitled. So if you wanted to title it, you could name it, I don't know, golfing center bid letting. So golfing center bid letting, and notice how it just automatically put it up there in the top. It's kind of cool how it works, but no, how the heck are you? And you can type in your location. You can select locations if you don't already have them put in there. This is such a unique system. It'll automatically set the date. So you can say, this meeting is for today. The start time will be at 11 a.m. The end time. And notice how it just automatically goes there. And the cool thing is you can actually use these. You can tie them to other ones. So if you want to use this template and you want to connect it to another template, you can do that. It's pretty interesting how that works. But I just wanted to show you how you can save all of these cool things and really make them happen. And so it's going to close today at 2 p.m. The subject title will be estimating the cost of new fairways and greens. And so you can have action items, like action items are things that you want it to do. Like, is this is it a high level deal? Is it today? Estimating the cost of the subjects, who's the owner of that. And then the cool thing is you can also do these little trash can things, so you can throw them away. So it's pretty cool sometimes to just get in and play with the templates. Just kind of mess around with them and see what they have, because they're so cool. And you can send it by, there's no email program associated with this, but you can definitely associate your email with it if you want to. And so what this does is, this whole thing is really super cool, because what it can do is it can send out a list of this golfing center bid. You can send it to like 1,000 people if you want to. So that's kind of a cool thing. So there'd be like a meeting report, all of the meeting reports, save as PDF, printer setup, save as Excel, blah, blah, blah. Estimated cost of new fairways and greens. As you can see how cool it is? It all comes together. This was our meeting. Or if you just have a meeting for like your business and you want to keep track of those meetings as well, you can be like, hey, meetings, we're going to have a meeting every month because we're incorporated and we have to have those meetings and blah, 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 all that other neat stuff. So it's pretty darn cool things that you can actually do. Then let's see, what else do we have? No location. Well, let's type in Terrence. Let's call that good. So now whenever we go in there, we'll always have Terrence. But if we want to change the location and we want it to be Frankfurt, we can type that in, and now we should have Frankfurt in our location. So center building cost, all these other cool things that are with it. Meeting list. These would be like all of the people. You can have a time frame. You can have upcoming. You can get a printable view. You can import records. Whatever you want to. So it's pretty darn cool. We go back to the meetings. Printable view. Why is it? It's not letting me get out of this. That's kind of funny. Desktop. iPad. Ooh, wow, look, they set it up for all different kinds of things. That's really cool. Meaning details. So it is kind of cool. But if you don't want to do that, if you just want to create your own thing because you're really into, you're not specific. Your needs are segregated. You have like a bunch of different needs. You have things that you do need to accomplish. Other than just this meetings thing, just the meetings thing. Because you can create new records and you can create more and more and more of these and reports and showing, so it'll show you like everything. But let's just say that you don't really want that. You really want to just create your own solution. Now, the very first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you, what do you want to name it? Because you've got to give it a name. So that's kind of a creative and neat thing. But think about that, because the name that you're going to give it is going to be the name of your primary page, the opening section of it, right? So we're going to give ours, we're just going to, because Vanas is in the chat there, we're just going to say Salon, let's do Salon Vanas. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, and we'll save that. And now it instantaneously, this is what it brings up. It's very blank, it's very obscure, there's nothing here. Now it's going to say current table Salon Vanas. But like I said, there's no fields to this table. So we pretty much have to close this down. And one of the very first things you should do, even before messing with getting into managing your database, is you need to create a base, a default. So mine is basically set at, if you go into here, you'll look, it's 1275 by 701. That's what it is under the size, and that's the reason why we have this orange line in here. So if you take this and we'll drop it down here. Actually, I shouldn't have done that, huh? I should have kept it way the heck up here, because I want to change the header. So the header, I want this header to be a specific size. So I've got to go into this little inspector thing, and the inspector will tell me, okay, it's a header and all that neat stuff, but the position is where we're going to get the height, and we're going to want to do this in points. And I want my height to be, oh, let's do 95. And if we just click off of it, ta-da, it's like this giant height, right? And so we can now close that, and now we still see that we do need a little bit made up on the footer, so we'll go ahead and run it down. But now we have this format, this ability to make a lot of changes from this. Now we're going to go into our themes. We're going to pick a theme that best fits us. So if we want like a sophisticated Illuminous, this is what Illuminous looks like. It's pretty darn cool, isn't it? I mean, you wouldn't think that it was, but it really is. It really adds just like bling. It's like, ta-da, here I am. And your printing can all be in white. So if you start off with, and I always think the very first thing you should do is start off with a template page. You should create a page that is your template page that you can use for all of your other things. So in this one, we're going to type in Salon Vinosse, and then if we click these little double A's over here on the side, it's going to it'll give us this thing where we can select what we want it to look like. So and that's one of the big downfalls of this, is you literally have to know what all of these are. You can't just select one and say, okay, I'm good with that, because you can't. You have to know what it looks like. Otherwise, you're going to be like, what? And then these, you can't just scroll through them. So you actually have to hit this little button at the bottom to get through them. But so I use pretty standard. I use Bookman old style, Bradley Hand, ITC. I use the ones that are just like right here, although there's like tons of them. If you just go down here, you can get engravers, which is pretty darn cool. So we'll do engravers, and we're going to do this at 36, maybe 48. Salon Vinosse. So we put Salon Vinosse in the top, and now you can add anything else to it that you want to, textual-wise, textual. So if you wanted to say down here in the footer, something like, let's just do this really quick. The Salon of Great People. We'll just say that. The Salon of Great People. And of course, if we click off of it, it gives us that blue line around it. Now we can actually make changes to it. So we use what we used before will be at the very top. It'll be here, so we don't have to worry about it. As you can see, it's right here. Engravers BT, so it's kept in this little thing. And we can then increase the size of it to 24. And we can move it down into our footer. So now you have Salon Vinosse, and you now have this thing down here. And I do apologize that you guys can't see it because of the logo of the stream, but that's okay. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. Let's just say that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to create pages. So this layout, it is named nothing. There is no name to it. So we do need to manage our database. And we need to figure out what information do we need to put on Salon Vinosse. So one of the first things you're going to do is to give it any functionality at all. You need to put at least something in there. I hate to say use an ID number because ID numbers are stupid. I don't use ID numbers in absolutely everything. I guess we can just say a date, and we'll call that a timestamp. We'll create it. And actually it should be, you know what, let's cancel that. Let's make it a date. Because if we do a timestamp, then it's time and date. So we'll change that. And then we'll just say on creation or modification, or you can have this on any single thing that you want to. So the most popular is on modification, because if you modify absolutely anything, then it will automatically do it. But if you create it, then you have to create new records all of the time. And normally on our home pages, we're not going to create any records. There's not going to be any records at all. So we'll do modification, because that's typically what makes it work the best. And now, for me, I always do there's always a security thing, like a security box or something that I always use, or a history box, so that I can come back to that page or whatever the case might be. So you can add whatever you want to, and that's just fine. I would definitely probably add, let's just do a security underscore box. Now you don't have to do the underscore, and we're gonna make that a text, and we'll create it, and we'll call it good. So now we actually do have some field pickers, or some fields that we can use in the field picker. So you've got the date and the security box. Well, the cool thing is that we're not going to use the date like right now, right? But the security box, we can grab it, and we don't need a label for it. And that's what these little things, I'm going to move out of the way here just for a second, but that's what these things are right down here. So you can either say where you want it placed in the field, or just place it in the field, whatever you want to do. And you can have labels, or the first one is no label, and then label on top, label beside it, and then label inside of it. I like to just put my own labels in wherever I want to. In the security box, this one I want no labels, so I'm going to bring it down here and put it on the very bottom, because it's basically just a security box. And I will exit that. Now, in the security box, if we go into our field inspector, we can do its appearance. And we can say we don't want it to have any color, and we don't want it to have any line. But we can leave the print. Right now it says the text baseline, it has no color to the text. Or it's white. So we can make it a darker color so that we don't have to, we don't want the security box to just pop right out, right? So, and we'll say, okay, let's close that down. So now we have the security box. So now if we exit the layout, you can see there's nothing there. It's pretty though, it's kind of pretty, right? Now we can add, like, there are so many cool things we can do with this. So many cool things. I just want you to be able to understand that when you create these things, you can dress them up and you can make it into whatever your heart desires. So, but always keep in mind, always keep in your mind and unconsciously, what is it that you want this solution to do for you? Do you want it to track your finances? No problem. Do you want to track your inventory? No problem. Do you want it to track your sales on a day-to-day basis? No problem. Whatever it is that you want it to do, you can certainly do that. No problem. You want it to track photos. You want it to log family pictures. You want it to log your phone calls. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you want it to do. You can create any, pretty much, what I'm trying to say is you can create anything that you really want to out of this. So if we go back into edit layout, some of the coolest things that we have is you have like this line feature. So I can literally take a line, start it right here on the end, drag it across, and if you notice, you'll see it says right there at the top, it says 120 or 1256 points at 5 points. So that means it's off 5 points. It's 5 points high. If we go down, it'll give it another number. So what you're looking for is that 0. When it says 0, then you know that you've got it in the correct space, that it's perfectly straight across. And now you can move it, which is totally cool, like dead in the center. And the line, we can change it to a 2-point line, and we can make it a red, a light red, or a yellow color, or whatever you want. And now, voila, you've just added beauty to your system. And you can do that. You can take this line if you want to, and you can, if you just press and hold the control button while it's highlighted like that, you can actually grab it and bring it down and let go, and now you've got 2 lines. That's really cool. I like that function. The shortcut functions, learn the shortcut functions. They will seriously help you a lot. Shortcut functions. So this one, what we can do now is we grabbed it, we keep it in the center, but I want it to go up like in the top. So it's very flashy, beautiful, red, Venus, Salon Venus. The greatest place on earth to be, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a quick, the time, remember the date thing that we used? If you come to the text and you you put your, just all you do is, all I did was click on the header, and see it's blinking. It's blinking right there. If I press now Control M, it's, what I'm telling it is to merge a field, and that's the date field. So I'll double click on the date field, I'll click off of it, and now I can move it wherever I want. And I can change what it is. So we're going to change it to engravers. We're going to change it to 18. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to marginalize it all the way to that one side. Move it out just a little bit so it looks cool. And you can change the color. So if you wanted the text to be a more like a yellow color, or a darker yellow color, whatever the case might be. I actually think it probably should have been a much lighter yellow, but so let's go with a much lighter yellow. There we go. So now if we exit the layout, there's still nothing here. As you've noticed, there's still nothing here. But the reason why there's nothing here is because we haven't created a record. We literally haven't created even a single record. So in order for this to actually do anything or be anything, we have to create, you have to go here and press New Record. And now instantaneously, there's our date, and here's our box at the bottom for our security stuff. Now, if you want this thing to do anything, what you can do is, if we edit the layout, we can come in and do just basic buttons. Create a basic button, and we're just going to tell it, we're just going to name it, button for now. And notice how blocky it is, how square it is, how yucky it is, right? We don't like that. So let's click on it, and we want to, I'm going to give it the same engravers because I'm just weird that way. I'm going to make it like 36. We're just going to keep changing it. But it's still very square. I don't like the square part to it. It just looks kind of funny being square. So, and I don't really necessarily like, I mean, I like the color and everything, but I think that I could really dress it up a little bit. So let's try to do something. So if I click on this, I click on the button itself, and I go over to my inspector panel. What I can do with it is, if I wanted to, I could change it to like a gradient. Like I could change it and make it like very gradient-like, but I didn't really want that. The solid color I thought was best at first. Solid color, and now it's going to make me pick that color. That's not the color that it was. The colors that are typical to your platform are going to be up here. So in this top spot, so to your theme. These are going to be offset colors, and these are all going to be colors that are related to your theme. So I think it was a lighter, maybe it was like a lighter color like that. I like the lighter color myself, so that will be great. But I do want a line, and the line currently is a no color line, but I want to make it just a very light, cool line. So now if I click off of it, you can see it's very square, and it's very nice with that line around it. It just pops. There's something else that we can do as well to just really bring home the beauty of this. So if we click on this button, we can do, right now it says outer shadow. Well, we don't see an outer shadow, but we can see an outer shadow. So if we come over here and we say, what color do we want this outer shadow? Well, you can pick a much lighter shadow color if you want to. And right now its opacity is 100%. So we're going to make it probably 65. And its horizontal offset is at 1. So we'll make it 12. And its vertical is also there. We'll make it at 12. Now you can see it. Do you guys see it? See it right here? It's underneath the bottom of it. But it is there. So now if I were to encircle this and I was to grab Control and bring it down, I will now have 2. Grab it, hold Control, bring it down. I now have 3. And see how they just Bam, there they are. It's like amazing, right? I love this. I love this new Illuminous. This is like amazing. I so have to make me one with this new Illuminous. This is pretty darn cool. Now, one of the other things that you need to also understand about this is, let's just say, for instance, that like this thing, this line, you would think that just because you did a line, it's basically done. Well, it's not done. You can actually create a lesser line. And so if I grab this, Control, and I bring it straight down, and I let go of it, now it's duplicated, right? But I'm going to go down to a 1-point line, and I'm going to change the color to a much lighter color. So now, if you look at it, it's very much more refined. Now, I don't like the red is obviously the wrong color. But you can come over here quickly and just make a change and say, I really want that to be very dark color or very light color or whatever the case might be. Something that best suits you. I'm going to go with that black because I really like that dark charcoal blackish color with the little line underneath of it, because I like simplistic beauty. Now your buttons are pretty cool, but they're not going to do anything right now. So if I exit the layout, my buttons do absolutely nothing. They don't highlight, but that's because we haven't told them to do anything. So by editing the layout and you double click on your button, you can tell it to do something, a single step. But right now we don't have any single steps for it to perform. If you wanted to, you could say refresh the screen, and then it would change the date if the date needed to be changed, right? But if you think about it, this date is going to keep in date every time you push a button or you do anything. It will upgrade the date, which is a big deal. Okay? So the buttons, do we want them to be square or do we want them to be slightly rounded? So let's go into our field inspector. And if you look at right here, it says corner radius 0. If we add just a slight corner radius, let's say 5. Now look at it. It's very much different, and it's changed the overall appearance. I like that because it goes very well with the style of Salon Vanoss, right? So we can do one of two things. We can either take this button and just press a delete. Take this button, just press a delete, and then just copy this one by pressing and holding the control button. Because we have told, the cool thing is, we have told it to do nothing. We've told it to do nothing. But we do need to create a new, because right now this is, the layout name is called Salon Vanoss. And so if we go into, let's say we were done. We've built this beautiful Salon Vanoss. And remember, please do not write any scripts for this first page. Right now we have nothing. I mean, just design a page that is going to be effective for you and then do this. Go in and edit layout, manage layouts. And here you've got this layout. Duplicate it. And then edit it. And call it the template page. And notice I didn't put an underscore there. I can just call it template page. I don't. It doesn't have to do that. And we can say show records from Salon Vanoss. That's fine. It doesn't matter. But if we get into this and we get into it farther, what will happen is you'll discover that, well, like right now you have two pages and they're identical to each other. But if I took this this is Salon Vanoss, and I held the shift button and I grabbed all of these, and I made a major change, right? I can grab this button, double click on this button, and I could tell it to do a single step, and I could say go to, and go to layout, and the layout I can say, because there's only two of them, I can just say go to the template page. And I'm going to do options, cursor, change cursor to hand. So change the little button to a hand when you're hovering over that. So that's what I did. So now I exit layout, and you'll notice this button is the one. Look, it lights up, da-da-da, and it's got a little hand on it. And now if I go there, whoop, what just happened? It just took me to the other page. So now I'm on template page. And in order to get back to Salon Vanoss, I have to go back to Salon Vanoss. So it didn't actually go anywhere. It's still there. But the cool thing is you've actually succeeded in creating a template. And that is a great thing. And so from there, you can do anything. If you want to create inventory, you want to create a register, you want to create a file that holds things, go into your manage. Wait, cancel. Okay. Go into manage your database. And remember, you have to have a table. So if a table is, let's see if I can explain this really quick. A table is a box. It's a box of all the things that you want in that box. So like, let's say you have a bunch of records, and would you put your like old school records, CDs or DVDs or something, when you're packing your stuff up, right? Do you just throw DVDs in different boxes all over the place, and you know, you mix it with your bathroom stuff, and you mix it with your, you know, your shoes, and you mix it with you know, just kitchen stuff, you know, you just throw in DVDs in random boxes? No, you try to keep all of the stuff, like all your kitchen stuff, in a box, and you write kitchen on the box, your DVDs on the box, right? So a table is the box. It's the box that you put everything into. And the neat thing is you can create new tables all of the time, and then create fields that go. The fields are the DVDs, the CDs, the records, the things that you're putting inside the box. That's what a field is. So the tables are the box, and the fields are the things that are inside the box. And then you'll see this thing called relationships. Now, relationships are, let's say you've got a bunch of boxes and all those boxes hold kitchen stuff. Everything holds kitchen stuff. You can create duplicates of these, or you can, when you do more tables, for every table it'll show you a box just like that one, right? So you can link all these boxes together if you want to. I, on the other hand, will tell you, do not link those boxes. I do not like relationships. All they ever do is ruin your solution. But if you want to link boxes together because they're all related to each other in some way, shape, or form, you are more than welcome to relate those, and that's what this does. This gives you that ability to actually grab a hold of like an ID, and then link it to an IDFK, and then link that to another IDFK, and so on and so forth. So you can link a bunch of different boxes together if you want to. Now, you will see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that do these videos, and they'll say, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. You know, don't not do this. Don't, you know, whatever the case is. And I will tell you, I've been watching a lot of them. I watched a lot of them. They help me grow. They help me do a lot of things, and I am forever there to appreciate what they have taught me. But what I have learned the most in the field is I own a business with millions of records every year. And what I do know is that when you start creating relationships, and you start creating join tables, and you start creating overly complicated solutions, you will end up with a solution that doesn't work for you. You'll lose more data than you keep. And if your data is essential to your business, then obviously you will want to make absolutely positive that you are that you're doing it correctly. So I hope that this has helped you. This is just a the only reason why I did this particular video was just the absolute basics. You do have a file, you can create new solutions, you can open, you can manage all kinds of things from this thing here. You can do from this tab at the top. You can manage your database, security, external data sources, all that are neat things. One of the cool things I really especially like about this is it's not limited to your computer. So if you have an iPad, you can link it to this solution via FileMaker Go, which is a free app, and you can share this, which is just under this file, and it's under sharing, and you can just share with FileMaker clients, and that's sharing it over your local Wi-Fi with units that are inside your building. And that's how my business works, is I actually share it on a local Wi-Fi network so that I have access to it both in the back office and in the front retail outlet store. So that works out really super well for me, just so you know. I would not say to get web direct. I would not say, not for a small business, not for a small business. I would not say get FileMaker server. Don't do it. They make there's companies out there that will actually host your solution for you, and it's like $20 a month, so it's not a big deal, and you have like unlimited access to it. So if you've got stores in several different cities, or you've got like a bunch of stores in one city, but they're like all over the place, you can use that FileMaker hosting site, and it's listed on a video somewhere. I'm positive of it. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my FMP host. FMP host is what it is. It's like $20 a month, and you get unlimited. You can communicate all you want to with one solution for like ever. You can have like 1,000 pads connect to it, and that's amazing. I actually do love that. There's some buffering and there's some issues with time delays, but for the most part, it's extremely effective and it works perfectly. And if you don't overcomplicate your solution, then you're really super gold. Then you're really super gold with FMP host. Now, one of the cool things that I wanted to, and you guys got to see what buttons do. You got to see what you can do with a button. So in this particular case, all this button does is it tells us to do one thing. But you can create another, buttons can do anything. There is an unlimited, you can tell it to perform a script, which I prefer to tell them to perform scripts. And so we'll just name this one script, because we can. And you can set variables, show custom dialogue. You can, whatever you want to. So you can open popovers, you can close popovers, you can delete records or create new records, or whatever you want to do, you can do that with a script, which is pretty super cool. One of the things it will do is this particular one, I'm just going to show custom dialogue, and the dialogue is going to be oops, and we'll just say LOL, you picked the wrong one. And we don't need push the wrong button. Still pushing the wrong button. Caps lock. Okay. We never need cancel. Cancel never seems to work for me, so it doesn't really matter. And then you can tell it to just halt the script or not halt the script. It's such a simple thing that it's not going to do anything anyway. So, and we'll change cursor to handover. So now if we go here and we press a button, it'll say, LOL, you picked the wrong one. Just funny, but it's something that, see how it's working? That's what we're trying to do, is we're just trying to show you the very, very, very basics. So we've picked a theme. This is, to me, a beautiful theme, but there's like tons of them. But now we have this as a template mode, so we can do anything that we want to, and we still have that template that we can go back to, which is amazing. Now, a lot of times, like, believe it or not, and this is pretty simple. If you have a salon, if you have a hair place, you can actually set these up to where it looks like your building. Like, you can have like station 1, station 2, station 3, you know, all your different stations, and then, you know, what that person did in those stations. Or you can use these buttons that you see right here for selling items. You can say this one is hairspray. Hairspray. Now, that's gonna be pretty sad, but let's go back a couple. I'm just gonna delete this one because it messed it up. Let's grab this one really fast, and we will go into the data, or nope, actually it was the appearance. So left and right, you need to make those 0. I'm sorry, let me move that. So I went to the appearance and the advanced graphics, and the problem that I'm having is that the sides, these buffer zones are too giant. So now if I go in and I double click on this, I can actually type in hairspray and it will fit inside of there. And so if I wanted to sell hairspray, I could sell hairspray. I could be like, this is $1.25. No, this is pretty cool because see the security box right here? Watch what, I'm just going to show you something really super simple. I know it's dumb, but just deal with me for just a second, right? So here's my box, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it up here for right now, and I want to change the text color to yellow, just so you guys can see it. It's kind of a big thing for you guys to see it, and we'll go 24. Okay. Now, I am going to. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell this hairspray button to put something in the security box. So I'm going to tell it to perform a script. And I'm going to say the name of this script is going to be funny. Say OK. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to, you can just set the field. So I'm just going to be like set field. And the target field that I want to set is the security box. And the calculator result is, I'm gonna write hairspray. Hairspray. Okay. 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 Change cursor overhand. Okay. But this one, this box, I'm going to tell it to perform a script as well. Or what I should actually do is just tell it to do a single step. So in the single step, we're going to tell it to set. We want it to set a field. Set field. And the target field that we want is the security box. And the calculated result is, I'm just going to do parentheses, and I'll show you what it does. I'll show you what it does. But it's so fun. You can do these fun things like all the time. It's so crazy, right? But notice this one is a single step, and this one is a script. Now the cool thing about a script is you can refer to that script anytime you want to. So if you want 5 buttons to do the exact same thing, you can write a script. And it can be simple, just like go to Nebraska, and that button will go to Nebraska, kind of thing, if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so now if we end this, we can exit the layout, and if we press this button, oh, it just says hairspray. It scared me. This button will clear it. This button will bring it up. This button will clear it. So you can just like play with this all day long. Hairspray, nothing. Hairspray, nothing. Hairspray, nothing. See how inventive that is? There's so many cool things that you can use. So come up with great ideas. Let me know what your great ideas are and throw them out there because Salon Vanoss needs that. But these are really super cool. If you guys want to know anything else about the absolute basics of FileMaker, I've been doing it for so many years. I've been doing FileMaker for so many years that I forget the basics part. The basics is kind of tough. But it's so much fun to just play with it. So if you just watch this video and you do what I did, just do it a couple of times, you realize A, it's fun, because it is. It's a lot of fun. And B, maybe it will ignite some ideas into your mind, and you can do something with it that is effective for you. One of the coolest things that I like about FileMaker is you can buy it outright. It's like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, $800, whatever, I don't know. But you can buy it out, because I don't know what it is today. But you can buy it outright and you own it forever. And I like that as a small business owner, because then nobody can take it away from me, nobody can mess with me, and I can always share it on my Wi-Fi, and my program will always work, and everything that I do is always going to be on that. You know what I mean? It's always going to work for what I want it to do, and I don't have to worry about things not working. So that part I enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. But there are so many creative and new things that you can do. The buttons are not all that you can do. You can create lists, list views. You can create inventories. You can create, you can literally tell it to call somebody. If you hook it to your phone, you hook up a microphone. You can tell the thing to dial a phone number, and it'll do it for you. You can send messages to friends, pre-made messages to friends. So it's pretty interesting, some of the things you can do. Like we saw earlier, where it said, send the request or send the message out. Remember the template we were doing, the messaging template? So it's there. It's available. Learn how to do it. Go through those templates. I will tell you right now, if you go through those templates, you edit the layout, you can read the script that they've already written. You can look at it and see what it does and then read the script. It's super simple. But if you do need to know something very specific, let me know. I will help you do that. Until the next time, guys, thank you very much for watching me. Thank you very much, Vanas, for being here. I do appreciate you guys so very much. Hopefully you have learned something, and hopefully you are ready to build something. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. And as I always say, be good to each other. It does matter. It really does. Thanks, guys. See you later.